What makes gold the object of desire? Why has it been used for over 5,000 years as value, unit and means of exchange? Gold is valuable because it is relatively rare and because it hardly changes over time due to its metal characteristics. It does not rust and does not lose weight. Gold is a heavy metal, but an extremely malleable one with a special brilliance. The combination of these characteristics predestined gold to become a unit of value. The metal became a currency in former times in the form of gold coins, but people also used silver coins and bronze coins. And even after paper money became established, banks attempted to back the banknotes issued with the corresponding amounts of gold or silver. Later on, this was only true for central banks. That meant that one could exchange paper money at any time for a fixed quantity of precious metal from the central bank. For example, the British pound sterling, as indicated by the name, was originally worth the equivalent of 1 pound of sterling silver. We have now arrived at the central problem of gold and silver as money. These precious metals are rare. They cannot be reproduced at will. This keeps the money supply of a country from growing along with its economic output, or central banks from pursuing active monetary policy during a recession. In the early 20th century, many currencies were still based on the gold standard. This is, the currencies were tied to gold. The system was suspended for the first time during World War I to make it easier to finance the war economy. Within the course of the Great Depression, the gold standard was completely given up in the 1930s by most countries. Germany and Austria, for example, did it in 1931. In 1944, at the famous conference held at the US resort of Bretton Woods, a mixed system was adopted. Only the US dollar remained pegged to gold. For the other currencies, fixed exchange rates to the dollar were set. In the Reconstruction period after World War II, this created economic stability. But by the beginning of the 1970s, the US was no longer in a position to redeem its currency for gold. The money supply provided by the US Federal Reserve System had long since become larger than the market value of the US Fed's gold reserves at the time. By giving up the system created in Bretton Woods, gold lost its role as an anchor and therefore its function as a currency. Ever since, almost all countries have pursued a policy of constant expansion of their money supply. During certain periods, this drove up the price of gold, but in other periods, it didn't. Nonetheless, gold is and will remain a special asset with very money-like qualities. It is rare, reproducible only to a limited extent, highly sought after, and enjoys the nimbus of being indestructible. As the developments of the past few years have shown, it is precisely these qualities that have repeatedly motivated people to invest their money in gold in times of crisis and fear of inflation.